Hello everyone, welcome to my first video. Today I'm going to announce the Hall of Fame Westerns nominations. So the Hall of Fame is something on Twitter where you gather people around one topic of a Hall of Fame. Everyone nominates one movie and then we go on a 3-month trip to decide which one is the best movie out of all of them. So today I'm going to announce the nominations of the Hall of Fame Western. The first pick is 3:10 to Yuma, the 2007 version, directed by James Mangold, starring Russell Crowe, Christian Bale and Ben Foster. The movie has a 3.6 rating on Letterboxd, 89% on Rotten Tomatoes and 7.7 on IMDb. The movie has 2 Oscar nominations for Best Score and Sound Mixing. The second movie is High Noon, 1952, directed by Fred Zinnemann, starring Gary Cooper, Grace Kelly and Thomas Mitchell. The movie has a 3.9 rating on Letterboxd, 96% on Rotten Tomatoes and has a 7.9 rating on IMDb. The movie has 7 Oscar nominations. It won 4 of them: Best Actor, Film Editing, Original Song and Best Score. The third movie is The Assassination of Jesse James by the Coward Robert Ford, 2007, directed by Andrew Dominik, starring Brad Pitt, Casey Affleck and Sam Shepard. The movie has a 3.9 Letterboxd rating, 75% on Rotten Tomatoes and 7.5 on IMDb. It has 2 Oscar nominations, Best Supporting Actor and Cinematography. The fourth movie is The Revenant from 2015, directed by Alejandro González Iñárritu, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Hardy and Will Poulter. The movie had a 3.8 on Letterboxd, 78% on Rotten Tomatoes and an 8 rating on IMDb. The movie has 12 Oscar nominations, winning 3 of them: Best Actor for Leonardo DiCaprio, Directing and Cinematography. The fifth movie is True Grit, the 2010 version, directed by the Coen brothers, starring Jeff Bridges, Haley Steinfeld and Matt Damon. It has a 3.7 on Letterboxd, 96% on Rotten Tomatoes and 7.6 on IMDb. The movie has 11 Oscar nominations but didn't win any of them. The next movie is a Tarantino movie, but it ain't Django Unchained and it ain't Hateful Eight, which makes the sixth movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, directed by Quentin Tarantino, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie. The movie had a 3.8 on Letterboxd, 85% on Rotten Tomatoes and 7.6 on IMDb. The movie has 10 Oscar nominations, winning 2 of them: Best Supporting Actor for Brad Pitt and Production Design. The seventh movie is The Searchers from 1956, directed by John Ford, starring John Wayne, Jeffrey Hunter and Vera Miles. The movie had a 3.9 rating on Letterboxd, 96% on Rotten Tomatoes and 7.9 on IMDb. The movie has no Oscar nomination but has 1 Golden Globe, and take that as you will. The eighth movie is Logan from 2017, directed by James Mangold, his second nomination of this Hall of Fame, starring Hugh Jackman, Daphne Keane and Sir Patrick Stewart. The movie had a 4.9 on Letterboxd, 93% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 1.8 on IMDb. The movie was nominated for 1 Oscar, Best Adapted Screenplay. The ninth movie is Westworld, the 1973 movie version, directed by Michael Crichton, starring Yul Brynner, Richard Benjamin and James Brolin. The movie had a 3.4 on Letterboxd, 87% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 7 on IMDb. The 10th movie is McCabe and Mr. Miller from 1971. The movie is directed by Robert Altman, starring Warren Beatty, Julie Christie and René Auberjonois. The movie had a 4.1 rating on Letterboxd, 85% on Rotten Tomatoes and 7.7 on IMDb. The movie was nominated for 1 Oscar for Best Actress. The 11th movie this Hall of Fame is Bone Tomahawk from 2015, directed by Craig S. Zahler, starring Kurt Russell, Patrick Wilson and Richard Jenkins. The movie has a 3.6 on Letterboxd, 90% on Rotten Tomatoes and 7.1 rating on IMDb. It is the only Western horror movie this Hall of Fame. The 12th movie is The Quick and the Dead from 1995, directed by Sam Raimi, starring Sharon Stone, Gene Hackman and Russell Crowe. The movie had a 3.2 on Letterboxd, 57% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 6.4 rating on IMDb. The 13th movie this Hall of Fame is Il Bueno, Il Brutto, Il Capito, which is also known as The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. The movie is directed by Sergio Leone, starring Clint Eastwood, Eli Wallach and Lee Van Cleef. The movie had a 4.4 rating on Letterboxd, 97% on Rotten Tomatoes and an 8.8 rating on IMDb. This is the only Leone film in this Hall of Fame. The 14th movie is Hell or High Water, directed by David Mackenzie, starring Chris Pine, Ben Foster and Jeff Bridges. The movie had a 3.9 rating on Letterboxd, 97% rating on Rotten Tomatoes and 7.6 on IMDb. The movie has 4 Oscar nominations. The 15th movie is Meek's Cutoff from 2010. This movie is directed by Kelly Reichardt, starring Michelle Williams, Bruce Greenwood and Zoe Kazan. The movie has a 3.6 rating on Letterboxd, 86% on Rotten Tomatoes and 6.5 on IMDb. This is the only female directed western in the Hall of Fame. The last movie is Unforgiven from 1992. The movie is directed by Clint Eastwood, starring the man himself, Morgan Freeman and Gene Hackman. The movie has a 4.1 rating on Letterboxd, 96% on Rotten Tomatoes and 8.2 on IMDb. The movie has 9 Oscar nominations, winning 4 of them: Best Picture, Supporting Actor, Director and Editing. Those were all the nominations for the Hall of Fame Western edition. Don't worry, there'll be more in the future if you want to join them. Here are now some interesting stats of the nominations. Rango, the 2011 movie I believe, were 4 people's their second pick and 2 people their third pick. So Rango was nominated 6 times in the latter picks. 2 other Coen movies that were also in the latter picks are No Country for Old Men and Oh Brother Where Art Thou. Other Tarantino movie that is for some people an actual western is The Hateful Eight. Meek's Cutoff was also nominated 3 times in people's latter picks. Once Upon a Time in the West was someone's second pick, because I was quite surprised there was no other Leone movies. And now I'm going to name some other movies which were people's their second and third pick who weren't nominated but came close. Those movies are Dead Man, Wind River, Tombstone, the original 3 to 10 to Yuma movie, El Camino, Sister Brothers, Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, and The Good, the Bad and the Weird. So those were all the nominations and stats of the second and third picks. I hope you really enjoyed the video. We'll update you within 3 months. The deadline is December 18th, so the day after that, December 19th or 20th, I'm not sure yet, we'll announce the winners and we'll got second, third, etc. So stay tuned for that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like if you want to see more. And that's it. See you next time.